Hi, I am Kara Scott Denley, also known as KSD, and we are here at the Inspired to Speak Network TV, and we have a very special guest today, Mr. Laroy Mack.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Financial literacy.
Yes.
That is something that so many people, because they don't teach financial literacy anywhere in school that I know of. So a lot of people need this information. Can you tell us a little bit about just your take on financial literacy? What can you share with people?
Well, what's really sad about the whole situation is that most of the plans that they have created for us, an example being 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, deferred comps, these plans are all qualified plans. These are the plans that we get on our jobs. So when we get these plans, they just slide us the paperwork. But they don't go into detail that you're going to lose 70% of your money, that there's hidden fees, and then all the money that you build for years and years later is going to be taxed at whatever tax bracket we're in at the time. So most plans are set up to fail.
Wow.
So my challenge is really getting out there to educate the people that everybody believes that, hey, I have a 401k, I'm good. I'm good, I'm saving money and things like that. But 2008, 2001, 2, and 3, those years, the market lost almost 40 to 50%. And when you tie in fees, it's even more. Because when you have a fee, and let's say your fee is 4%, but it's 4% on $3,000 that you got in there. But you've been working for 30 years now. So now my $3,000 is now $350,000. But the fee never changed. So that 4% on $350,000 is a big number. And we don't know. So it's been my passion to really educate people on what is actually happening. Let me give you another example. 98.9% of the people that have life insurance don't have the right life insurance. Giving you an example. I'm on the radio, somebody calls me and they say, hey, I want you to talk to this young man. He's got a term policy, I think. Well, it turned out he did have a term policy, $1 million term policy. I set up an appointment to meet with him. He said, no, I'm good, Mr. Mack. So he declined the review. Unfortunately, 6 months later, he was diagnosed with cancer. 28 years old, 3 kids, and a young wife, breadwinner. So no one else worked. He had to watch his family suffer because what's life insurance do? It pays you when you die. But what if you didn't die? And that's what happened. He couldn't work, he was suffering. But if he would have met with me, I would have given him a policy, a term policy, with living benefits. And he would have had a check for over $800,000.
Wow.
See, what we don't know kills us every time.
And I mean, I'm sure that, with so many, because you do seminars, you want to get this information out there.
Yes.
Because what a person, when you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know.
And that's a bad spot to be in.
That's
You said
true.
that you're on radio.
Yes.
And you get to share this information with people. If someone is sitting there and they're saying, I understand what he's saying because I have a TSP, I have a 401k.
Right.
What are some things that you could tell a person, just, without giving away all the nuts and bolts, without meeting with you, of course, because we want to make sure that people get a chance to get the right thing, that you put them in the right vehicle for them. But what are some things that an individual could do to help them, to help their family, to put them in the best position right now?
Gotcha. That's a very good question. The problem is what's happening with the information that we get. People say to me, why haven't I heard about this then, Mr. Mack? And think about it. Who's putting the information out? Wall Street. So the minute that you take your money from Wall Street, they don't make no money anymore. So they're not going to tell you about the other strategies. But one tip that I want everybody to know is I want them to save their very first hour and pay themselves. So if you have a list of bills, you go on the list as number 1. So just give you an example how powerful that is. $10 an hour turns into $200 a month. So if you make as little as $10 an hour and you pay yourself just that first hour per day, you got 8 other ones. Just take one. That's $200 a month. So I would tell people to start getting in the practice of paying themselves first. And then they can call me to find out what to do with that money. Because if you don't pay yourself first, you're going to end up at a payday loan store paying 400 to 1,000% interest on a loan.
That's true. I've heard about different situations
Yes.
with that. And what's so powerful about what you just said is to consider yourself as a bill.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
To put yourself
The
first.
number one deal.
Because so many people, if you say, well, save,
Right.
that has a different connotation than pay yourself like you're a bill.
Correct.
Because people are, they're always led to pay their bills.
Absolutely.
Without hesitation.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's a
Pay my
bill.
Right.
So, you know, and that's a good way to put it. Are there any final notes or thoughts? Because I'm sure people are watching now and they're just saying, you know, I need help.
Right.
You know, and they're screaming and they don't know which way to go. So if you want to give them a nugget, just, you know, just one quick nugget. I know you made one statement about, you know, pay yourself like you're a bill. The 10, you know, you gave the example of, you know, $10.
Right.
If there's something else that you want to share with them that you would say, you know, if you're watching right now, then you should do this.
Gotcha. Well, if you are watching right now, I want you to remember, it is not what you make, it's what you keep.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not what you-
That's a good
Because
one.
you think about it, look at all the NBA players that had millions, the actresses that had millions, and they didn't pay themselves first, and they didn't put their money where it would make money. That's another tip, quick tip. When I worked in social services, I had 2 full-time jobs, and at one time I had 3 full-time jobs, and I was still broke. It's because my money wasn't working for me. You have to have your money work for you. You have to put your money where it's going to make money. If you have your money in a savings account, you are earning 0.0.0 nothing. And the sad problem about that is the banks are making 13 to 28% on your same money and won't give you a dime.
Wow.
Yes.
That is so powerful, and I'm sure that people right now are just, you know, they're ready to reach out to you. They're just ready to, you know, overcome those hurdles, because you mentioned that when you were working 2 and at sometimes 3 jobs
Full-time jobs, yeah.
at one time, and that takes up, I mean, you have to look at it and say, what am I doing this for?
All my time. Yeah.
Because, right, if you're doing it for your family, now you're sacrificing the time on the back end
Right.
to make more money. Now you're taxed at a higher bracket. So many different things
It's
play a
catch-22
part.
all the time, yeah.
And I'm sure there's someone watching now
Right.
saying, that's me.
Right.
I'm working 2 jobs and I still can't seem to catch everything
Right.
up as far as my bills and everything. So I'm sure they're just waiting
Right.
for information from you on how they can get in contact with you.
Okay.
So if you could share that information with our listeners, how they can reach you, that would be perfect.
Absolutely. They can give me a call at 708-205-5110. 708-205-5110. Or you can go to my website at ChicagoSafeMoneyExpert.com.
ChicagoSafeMoneyExpert.com.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Laroy, for
No
being
problem.
here
Thank
with
you for
us.
having me.
And
Yeah.
thank you for being a part.
Thank you for what you're doing, because it's great, and we need more people like yourselves, like you and Mr. Bentley, to get this information out, because that's what it's all about. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
All right, thank you.